tiny sliver of hope is still a very powerful thing. Life as we knew it is over. That's happening a lot right now. People didn't expect this stupid pandemic stuff to be going this long. They didn't think they were still going to have to be chained to their houses and not doing what they are used to doing. There was a quote I saw by Edith Eger, I think, and it said, "Even though we are wearing masks, we can still smile with our eyes." So that's about maintaining hope even in unfavorable circumstances, and that's why I wanted to do this video. So I'm actually going to use a few paragraphs from a couple of Dr. Edith Eger's articles. And I wanted to start with my own experience because I understand this. After my brain surgeries, when I realized I was never going to return to my career, it was unlikely that I would ever be earning money. I was losing my house. I knew I was in a marriage that wasn't satisfying me anymore. Life as I knew it was over. And I didn't know who the hell I was without being someone that brought in an income, someone that was good at what they did. I had no idea how I was going to continue living. And I couldn't be around my family right then because I couldn't be who they wanted me to be. I wasn't who I used to be, but I had no idea who I was supposed to be. And so I moved out. I got my own place, trying to figure out, where am I going to go in life now? How am I going to manage moving forward when it's like I am a stranger to myself? And my conclusion was, and I'm sorry if this is triggering, I wasn't going to move forward. My conclusion was that I was going to kill myself. And so on this day when I was at my most low, I went out on my lovely deck of my rental to have a smoke and to start going through the list of ideas that I could think of to kill myself without hurting someone else. And there was the tricky part. Almost everything I could think of that I would have the stones to follow through on, I guess I should add that part, had the potential of taking someone else out. And that wasn't something I was going to do. Really, the only thing I could think of was to take a bunch of pills, but I didn't have the pills. And I knew there was the potential of ending up as a vegetable or something even worse than where I was now and having to still be here on earth. I was at the lowest point of my life I had ever been at. Sitting on my deck, and then torrential rainfall started. Cold, huge drops of rain. I had a tiny little overhang and I was getting soaked, but I couldn't move. I literally couldn't move because I realized I didn't know how to kill myself and I didn't know how to live. Maybe I hope that cold rain would make me freeze to death and turn into a pillar of stone or salt or whatever it is. And I could be a deck decoration. I'm being facetious, but I mean, it didn't matter that I was starting to shiver. I just couldn't move because I didn't know what to do now. I couldn't imagine living on in this life I didn't recognize because life as I knew it was over. And then the rain stopped and a magnificent rainbow came out. And I'm sure there was nothing special about that rainbow. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I guess, as miracles go, it could have been extraordinary, something different about it. But I didn't know about any of that kind of stuff then. I just knew then and there that if I could enjoy beauty like this just on occasion, it was worth it to try to figure out how to keep living in this new state of me. Still undiscovered and very tentative about living, but I was going to give it a shot. And I quit thinking about how I could kill myself. I had been totally out of hope, and then one magnificent rainbow made all the difference in the world. Because I noticed that there was still beauty if I could just find it. Of course, it played out right in front of me. I didn't have to make any effort. But there is beauty in life that we forget about when we are feeling hopeless. We just have to look harder for it. And it's okay to have our little pity parties. But not for too long, because there are other people out there that could benefit from us finding the beauty and sharing it with them. I don't know if this video is going to make a difference to anyone, but I'll just tell you that I think that COVID has happened to force us to look at our lives and see what isn't working, just as I had to look at mine and realize, oh, my value really wasn't all about me making money and me busting my ass to keep up with bills and keeping my family happy even though I wasn't. But I had to figure out how to keep going even if it took some creativity. And that's what I think a lot of people are missing. It takes stepping out of your comfort zone and becoming more creative to find the beauty and to share it with others, to keep the hope flowing. We're not just us, we're all that is. So if we struggle and we find a way to come out of it, if we find some beauty that keeps us going, we should share it with other people. And others will do the same for us. We are in this together, although, it's a very divisive thing. With the mask wearing and all that, it's almost as bad as politics. But we are all in this together. It just takes some honest introspection so that we can see, why is it we are so shaken? Is it because this is making us see, without the distractions we're used to using to avoid having to go here, that our lives are not working as they are? Is our value really tied to being able to make money? Or is it the mom that knows just the right songs to sing to her child who just woke up with terrible night terrors? Is it the dad that knows that what his son needs right now is not a harsh talking to or a spanking, but a big hug and a walk down the block to see the dog that his son adores? It's how we share our light that can make a difference right now. And it may take being creative to find a different way to share your light than what you're used to. For instance, actors and musicians are used to being out among audiences. They can't do that anymore. It's more than just not being able to make money doing what they love. They can't be out among the adoring audiences that they are used to having. So, for instance, it might be making them examine whether that public adoration has become more important to them than their art, their craft. If you love to perform, you're going to perform. You're going to figure out other ways to do it. People are on Patreon. People are building up their YouTube channels so that they can have communities and do different kinds of things like that. It takes being creative. Maybe you can't perform on a stage, but you could just pour all your angst into a song and come up with lyrics that are amazing. If you are telling yourself that life as you knew it is gone, and it's because you can't do what you love that you are sitting in this deep, dark hole, but you're not doing something different, then maybe what you have been telling yourself you love more than anything is not really what you love. You know, we have to think about more than just ourselves. How can we share our light, but in a different way than how we're used to sharing it? Maybe you can't do what you love to do in the way that you are used to doing it, but if you can step back and get creative, and if this is what you really love is performing, you find a different way to perform, even if it's not the same as it used to be. This whole thing is about shaking us up so much that we're just like me after my brain surgeries. Who the hell am I? Where do I turn? What do I do now? That's why this is happening. It's so we look at our lives and see that we were just going through the motions. Well, it's scary as hell. You know, it could be that your home life you had been telling yourself was perfectly fine, and now, as you're spending more and more time there, you're realizing, I can't even talk to these people anymore. We don't really relate. You know, it could be that you realize that you're all just sitting around, you know, drinking beer and smoking pot and whatever else to avoid dealing with the fact that you don't belong in the same room anymore. You don't relate on any kind of important level. This is all happening to get us to see that we haven't been being who we truly are. Sometimes you have to get into the tough love a little bit to make people see. It's time to make changes. It's not serving us to sit around complaining about how life isn't the same. No, it's not. My life in this minute is different than the minute I started this video. Life will never be the same again in that respect. Now, if you are lucky enough to have a following, if you are lucky enough to be an influencer, be careful about what you put out there. You have people hanging on your words. So yeah, you may be feeling down in the dumps and you may be thinking, oh my God, universe, what are you doing to me? You may be depressed as hell. But remember all those people that are hanging on your every word. You have a chance to influence in a positive way. So you can say, life sucks and I'm not happy, you're not happy, but you know what? How can we see the silver lining? I know that's corny. I don't know if people still say that, but I think that most people get that concept. Yeah, life isn't fair. This isn't how we want our lives to be going, but how can we see things in a better way? Remember that what you put out there, you'll get more of. And if you're influencing people, you want them to be putting out positive things, to be bringing more positivity, more good things toward them. You know, there is a certain responsibility that comes with having a following. So it's okay to share your vulnerabilities. It's okay to say you're sad. It's okay to say you're disappointed. But then add something positive onto that too. But you know what? It may be corny, but guys, I'm gonna try something on TikTok. Or tune in tonight for, me doing my thing a cappella or whatever it is, or an actor. Check my Facebook Live tonight. I'm going to be Hamlet. See it as a way to stretch. See it as a way to explore. Life is all about what we make of it. And it is okay to not be happy with the way life is going. But we can find ways to make it not so painful. Feel the emotions. Go deep down and think about what this may be triggering in you, because really I think that's a lot of the point of COVID too. The people that have been running away from facing things, it's giving you all this time to be thinking about what you didn't want to think about. So when you're being triggered, don't run away from where it's leading you. Examine it. Are you so used to disappointments in your life and you're thinking this is just one damn thing more? It's okay to think that way, but you don't want to get too tied to the idea that life can never be different. So yeah, maybe your luck has been shitty. Maybe you've really been struggling. Maybe everything seems like crap. But that doesn't mean it always has to be crap. Look for the beauty in the hidden things. Find the little teeny pleasures. And there may be a lot more things that are not pleasurable, but if you look, you can find something to tie your hope onto. Now the rest of this video, I'm going to share the paragraphs from the articles that I found, and so you won't need to be looking at me anymore. But please remember that we are all in this together, and if we're going to influence others, we can choose to bring them down right along with us, or we can figure out a way to lift them up as we figure out ways to lift ourselves up. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay hanging in there because there are some beautiful words to follow. Dr. Eager's keys to keeping yourself free from hopelessness follow. Don't cover garlic with chocolate. It's tempting to confuse hope with idealism, but idealism is just another form of denial, a way of evading a true confrontation with suffering. Resiliency and freedom don't come from pretending away our pain. Listen to the way you talk about a hard or hurtful situation. Oh, it's okay. It's not that bad. Others have it so much worse. I don't have anything to complain about. Everything will work out in the end. No pain, no glory. The next time you hear yourself using the language of minimization, delusion, or denial, try replacing the words with, "It hurts, and it's temporary." Remind yourself, I've survived pain before. It takes courage not to be discouraged. There's progress and change all around us. Nothing new ever happened before. Set a timer for 10 minutes and make a list of as many things as you can think of that are better now than they were 5 years ago. Think on the global scale. Human rights advances, technological innovations, new works of art. And think on the personal level. Things you've made, achieved, or changed for the better. Let the work that still needs doing be a catalyst for hope, not despair. Hope is an investment in curiosity. Find a comfortable seat or lie down and close your eyes. Relax your body. Take a few centering breaths. Imagine yourself walking along a path or a road. You're on your way to meet your future self. Where are you walking? Along a bright city street? In a forest? Along a country lane? Notice your surroundings in vivid sensory detail. Pay attention to sights, smells, sounds, tastes, and physical sensations. Now you're arriving at your future self's doorstep. Where does your future self live? In a skyscraper? Log cabin? House with a wide front porch? The door opens. Your future self greets you. What does your future self look like? What is he or she wearing? Embrace or shake hands. Then ask, what is it you want me to know? And as to COVID, this is the doctor's take. This is a good time to think about your thinking, to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, because that's what you'll reinforce. If you're full of guilt, worry, and fear, you're going to have more guilt, worry, and fear. Our freedom lies in our power to choose what we do in the present. So listen to your self-talk. Is it full of always and never, should and have to? Can you find a kinder and gentler way to speak to yourself? Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, and say, I love you. Make sure your self-dialogue is full of, yes I can, yes I am, yes I will. Self-love is self-care. What's one kind thing you can say or do for yourself right now?